Day 1, they meet. Day 2, they're secretly married. Day 4, they're both dead. And so are 4 other people pulled into their story. 6 deaths, under a week. And for 400 years, we've called this the greatest love story ever written. So today I want to ask the question your English class never quite got to. What if Shakespeare wasn't writing a love story at all? What if he was writing a warning? Here's what I'm going to show you. 1. A detail about Juliet that almost every adaptation quietly edits out. And once you know it, you can't unsee it. 2. Why the real turning point of this play isn't caused by Romeo or Juliet at all, but by a side character who's dead before the halfway mark. 3. What Shakespeare was actually trying to tell you, which is a lot less romantic and a lot more useful than love conquers all. Let's start where the play starts, not with the lovers, with a warning. Shakespeare doesn't make you wait to find out how this ends. In the first 14 lines, the prologue, he tells you the entire plot. 2 families, both alike in dignity, locked in an ancient grudge nobody on stage can even explain anymore. Their kids fall in love, their kids die. That's it. He's not writing a mystery. He's writing a countdown, and he calls them star-crossed lovers, doomed by fate before they even meet. So from line 1, Shakespeare's asking you a question. Is this a tragedy about 2 people who fall in love, or about a world that makes their love impossible to survive? Here's what they leave out of the trailer. When we first meet Romeo, he's not thinking about Juliet. He's heartbroken over a completely different girl, Rosalind, who never even appears in the play. He's so dramatic about it that his own friends are sick of hearing it. He talks in these overblown contradictions. Oh, brawling love. Oh, loving hate. The kind of thing you'd write in a diary at 16. Not the kind of thing that reads like wisdom. Romeo only goes to the Capulet party to spy on Rosalind. And within minutes of seeing Juliet, he's forgotten Rosalind exists. That's not a cynical read. That's the text. So before you buy the greatest love story ever told, ask yourself, is this love? Or is this just a teenager who falls hard and fast every single time? Now the balcony scene, it's genuinely beautiful writing. What's in a name? That which we call a rose, by any other name would smell as sweet, is one of the most quoted lines in the English language. But look at the timeline. They meet at the party Sunday night. This scene happens hours later, that same night. By Monday afternoon, they're married. One day. Even Juliet seems to clock how fast this is moving. She tells Romeo their engagement is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. And Friar Lawrence, the priest who agrees to marry them in secret, does it partly for political reasons. He's hoping it'll end the feud between their families. He weds a 13-year-old to a boy he's known for about 5 minutes because it's convenient for the peace process. Hold on to that thought. We're coming back to it. Here's the first thing I promised you. Juliet is 13 years old, not 16, not 18. The text is specific. Her mother says she's not 14, and the nurse tells us exactly how many weeks until her birthday, just so we can't miss it. Most adaptations quietly age her up, because a 13-year-old bride makes modern audiences deeply uncomfortable. They should be. That discomfort isn't a flaw in the play. It's the point. Even Juliet's own father thinks she's too young. Earlier on, he tells Paris to wait, that Juliet is yet a stranger in the world and hasn't seen the change of 14 years. Capulet thinks 13 is too young to marry Paris. He just never finds out it's also too young to secretly marry a boy she met the night before. This was never a fairy tale about soulmates. It's a story about children handed adult consequences. Marriage, feuds, death, with no adult actually stepping in to stop it. Open loop number 2. The side character I promised you. His name is Mercutio, and he's not even part of either family. He's just Romeo's friend. For the first half of the play, he's the funniest person in every scene. The jokes, the wild speeches, the chaotic energy that makes this still feel like a comedy. And that matters because up until this point, the story could still end in a wedding instead of a funeral. Then Tybalt, Juliet's hot-headed cousin, picks a fight with Romeo. Romeo, now secretly married to Tybalt's cousin, refuses to fight, which makes no sense to anyone watching because nobody else knows about the marriage. So Mercutio steps in to defend his friend's honor instead, and gets killed for it. His dying words aren't sad. They're furious. A plague of both your houses. He's cursing both families with his last breath, because he's the one person who can see clearly what nobody inside the feud can, that this hatred is about to kill people who have nothing to do with it. The moment Mercutio dies, the comedy is over. Every decision from here speeds the story toward the ending we were warned about in line 1. After Mercutio dies, Romeo kills Tybalt in revenge and gets banished, which should be the moment an adult finally steps in and fixes this. Watch what happens instead. Juliet's parents, with no idea she's already married, arrange for her to marry Paris within days and threaten to disown her when she resists. The nurse, her closest confidant her entire life, tells her to just marry Paris and forget Romeo. And Friar Lawrence, the one adult who actually knows the whole truth, comes up with a plan. A potion that makes Juliet appear dead for 42 hours, plus a letter to Romeo explaining everything. The letter never arrives. The messenger gets quarantined during a plague scare. A small, almost bureaucratic accident. Because Romeo never gets that letter, he hears secondhand that Juliet is dead, believes it completely, and doesn't wait, doesn't check, doesn't write back. He buys poison and rides straight for her tomb. Every adult in this story either lies to these kids, pressures them, or fails them at the exact moment they need help. The stars didn't kill Romeo and Juliet, a quarantine did. A bad plan did. Silence did. Romeo reaches the tomb, kills Paris in a fight he didn't need to have, drinks the poison, and dies seconds before Juliet wakes up. She wakes, finds him dead beside her, and stabs herself with his own dagger rather than live without him. Friar Lawrence finally tells both families the truth, standing over their children's bodies. And here's the part everyone forgets. Montague and Capulet stop fighting. They shake hands. They agree to build gold statues of Romeo and Juliet as a monument to peace. The feud ends. Which means the one thing that could have saved these two kids, their families finally getting along, happens the moment it's too late to matter. Shakespeare doesn't close this play with a wedding or a joyful reunion. He closes it with two grieving fathers signing a peace treaty over a pair of coffins. So, back to what I promised you. Juliet is 13, a detail that turns this from a fairy tale into a story about children making adult decisions they were never equipped to make. Mercutio is the hinge the whole tragedy swings on, the funny, uninvolved bystander who dies for a feud that was never his, and curses both families with his last breath. And the actual message? It's not love conquers all. It's closer to the opposite. Hate outlives logic. Haste outruns wisdom. And the people who pay for it are rarely the ones who started the fight. Shakespeare called them star-crossed in the very first line. And for 400 years, we've treated that as an excuse. Fate did this. The stars did this. Nobody could have stopped it. But every choice in this play belongs to a person. A rushed marriage. A secret. An undelivered letter. A father who wouldn't listen. Blame the stars if you want to. Shakespeare left you enough evidence to know better. If that changed how you see a play you thought you already knew, that's kind of this whole channel. Taking the books everyone assumes they understand and finding what's actually hiding in the text. Tell me in the comments, which side character do you think deserves more credit than they get? Mercutio, Friar Lawrence, someone else? And if you want another classic taken apart like this one, subscribe, because we're doing it again next week.